Steelhorse here. Welcome. We're on Silverrun Forest Farm with Jake and Paige. We are in the second half of July. It's just up to 8:30 in the morning. Got a few chores on the way. You'll remember from last time we're still dealing with the after effects of the fire in the new sawmill. Things have settled down a little bit. We still haven't been able to get access across to harvest that other field of oats or pick up the straw, but hopefully today we will. I can already see, looks like the road around into town might be open, but the road across the railway, yeah, see Boo Boo's parked his truck in the way, so the road across to the old sawmill's still shut, but thankfully we can get around here. You can see the new Agco dealership looks like it's taking advantage of the opening, so there's a whole bunch of equipment they've got and had delivered, so I'm guessing they're probably open for business. We might have a look at that at some point. Now, being in here, one of the first jobs Jake wanted to do is conscious he didn't want to forget the horses. What's happening here? 1800 out of 11,500. Straw's good, but food is getting down a bit. They're not completely out, but I'm guessing, without looking too closely, that they're probably a bit low on, where are we here? Horses. Down to our last 18 litres of hay, but they've still got a few oats. So that's fine. We'll remember to drop some oats in when we harvest the field. In fact, I think we've still got some in the silo there. What we can do is figure out how to fold down our spike. Go and grab a hay bale from over here. Because if we drop that in the trigger, it'll pretty much fill it up, and then we'll have to top up with oats when we get a chance. Strangely enough, the trigger's not inside for hay on this barn. It's around here, and I don't. We've normally done this with the skid steer, but I think it's around about there somewhere. Let's drop you down and see. There we go. That'll make all the difference. That's plenty of hay in there. Back you over the bump. The spike back around the corner. The other thing we need to deal with is with some urgency is the milk. So there's a heap of milk because we weren't able to get around the other day. There's a heap of milk up in the cow shed that we want to be. We might just leave you here. Let's have a look. Cow shed. So we've got almost 7,500 litres of milk. And you might recall from the last episode, he was keen to buy a different tanker to replace the one that wasn't working properly. But we didn't have enough cash. So now that we can get down this road to town, what he's hoping is that we can sell some of this silage. Now, can we squeeze through here without getting tangled up with our Oh, we've got to, of course, unwrap the bales. Is that going to be enough? Find out in a minute. What's that? It's going to be pretty darn close, I think. If we're unlucky, it'll be 13. So we'll just get these on the trailer. Come on. That's what we want. Straighten you up there. Beautiful. So that'll work a treat. And I think because our harvester is already on the other side, I'm thinking that we can go over and harvest that field. Certainly the undertaking that he got from the sheriff the other day suggested that the back half of the month would be fine. It's one of those things, rather than ask the forestry guy, I think he's just going to go on the basis that no news is good news, and we can wander across and get that harvest in later on today. But we will deal with the milk first. The other thing we need to do is get that hay baled up on the field there so that we can replenish our hay stores. We'll take some up to the cow shed ready for making TMR up there. We've got a little way to go until we need to make any more mix for our milk cows, but we probably do have some butter and cheese at the dairy that we need to be selling, so we'll take care of that as soon as we've got enough money to get this milk tanker sorted. So there's the Agco dealer there. There's a couple of those Laverda harvesters. They're the one that Eddie was telling him about. There's a whole heap of bigger tractors there. They're probably a little bit beyond what we need. Looks like a similar harvester, the Gleaner, sitting over there in the back. That's the N7. We've got the N6. So that's right. You can see in the background there, it's the first look we're getting. So they've been working furiously to clean up all the rubble and stuff from that, where the new sawmill burnt down, so that all the machinery sheds and the chipping capability, that's all gone. And then round here, well, they've still got this all fenced off, so, but as you can see, the roller coaster's just plain gone. So it just burnt to the ground. They've managed to clean up where they had all the work site up there, but it's a pretty clean site by the looks. It's going to be very interesting to see what the town decides to do. Oops. Let's get onto the correct sell point for our bales. See how we go. This should give us enough money to solve for the tanker. There we go, 50 grand. That'll be good. 26.6 for the bales themselves, and then another 1,600 for the environmental score. So that's excellent. If we come around here, we can already see some pallets at our dairy. Let's just pop over here. So that needs more milk, but we'll sort that out. There's another, almost a pellet of butter inside and another pellet of cheese. So there's a few things to be selling there. Let's have a look what the pricing's like. and where we would go to sell. So butter 1800. So it's not too bad. The cafe looks like the place to be selling our butter and cheese. So there'll be a few dollars involved there. Let's just duck around to Eddie's. You can see they still got the last of the rubbish that they're clearing up here. So hopefully these barricades will be down, and because the town's been pretty quiet with everything closed off. And let's have a look. So in terms of tankers, it only takes water. So we're probably in something like this. This is a bit beyond our price range. Maybe something, just a straight trailer might be the go. 14,000 litres is plenty. 24,500. I think. Do we need the bigger tyres? It's only ever going to do the sort of the road down from the farm, I suppose. Just leave the Continentals on it. Milk truck is the way to go. I think we'll just take one of those. So let's buy that. Let's get this trailer back for now. I'm assuming this road's open in both directions. As I said before, there's really not a lot of traffic about at the moment, so we'll just assume we're allowed to drive back. We're real lucky our BGA sitting over there was unscathed, so thankfully that's okay. You can see the grass we cut really a month ago now dried quite nicely, so there's a good batch of hay there to take off, but we'll deal with the milk first, I think. Just pop you over here so we can get the tedder sorted when we get a chance. In fact, while we're doing the milk, we can potentially get someone to help us with the tedding of the grass here. What do we got here? Let's grab a course. Width is fine. We don't need 4 headlands. 2 headlands will be fine. Start on the center. Generate your course. That'll work. So what we might do is we've been doing a little bit of tidying up with gear and the like, but we might run down the back way to the shop and we can check on our corn on the way past. Corn should be coming up pretty well. Yeah, there it is. The new cornfield here is looking quite good. Ultimately, Jake's plans to have some equipment storage down here, so on this area here potentially, so it's not a bad spot to be leaving this trailer. So we'll just undo the straps, disconnect the trailer. Oh, this looks like a good size milk tank for us. Let's pop some milk in, and this part of the job will be done. We'll fill it up. Looks like the part of the problem we're having is something to do with that truck, because we really struggled to find a trigger. Well, we couldn't find the trigger with the truck on, so that's why Jake grabbed the Kubota. But once you put the Kubota on, no trouble. So we'll use the Kubota to take it down for the moment, and we might investigate that a little bit later on. I think it might be a little bit heavy on the hitch for the ute, so we'll just see how we go. But the Kubota will be fine. Boo Boo's nowhere to be seen again. He has a habit of wandering off, Jake's observed over the last month. Maybe he just plain doesn't like being in town. Prefer to be in the woods. Looks like our workers managed to get himself a little bit tangled. He's not exactly doing the fastest job ever. Let's see here. Get right up and sort of around the tree. Maybe we can, might need to take those branches off at some point there. There we go. Good spot. So we'll put some milk in. Let's go and see how the production itself's going. So, milk. We don't have any sugar, but we've got some sugar beet coming, so you never know. We might be able to sort that out at some point. But both butter and cheese are running. Let's go and get the skid steer and load some of that. Actually, let's have it before we do that. So our choices... It's pretty interesting. There's a big disparity of prices for butter. Look at that. $250 difference between the market, which is next door, and the cafe. So we really do want to be selling at the cafe, but it does mean we'll need to come back with the truck to load up. So now that we've dropped that off, we can go back and get that truck. He was hoping to bring that back with the trailer, but clearly that's not working properly. Okay, so that bit's managed to be rowed up. He's getting there. So we'll just leave our milk tanker there. Let's go back and get that produce loaded up. So the other thing we'll need from the shop before we can load these pallets is a pallet fork or the skid steer, so we'll take care of that. Let's get rid of the straps that are holding us down. Go and pick up our pallet fork. There we go. So we'll just throw these, not literally, but figuratively, on the truck. As far forward as we can there. Just use the others to push them on. Looks like some cheese. These cheese pellets are worth about $4,000 each, so pretty handy to pick up, because the main reason we need the cash sorted is over the next couple of months as we move in to the hillside fields, we're going to need to organise some equipment for the sugar beet, but also the he wants to take Eddie up on that proposition of renting the harvester for the hillside to try and harvest those soybeans, so that'll be the plan. And hoping that with the Agco dealership in town, that'll be something they're quite happy to support. Probably won't be cheap, but at least it's a pretty valuable crop, so with any luck that'll be it'll sort of pay itself back, a bit like the experiment from last season with the sugar beet. You know, we didn't make a lot of money, but it worked, and as a proof of concept, it worked really well. So getting a few pellets on here, might put that other cheese on. There we go. Not the tidiest stack in the world, but just one to go now. This little loader works beautifully in this little situation. Or we might just leave him parked here. It's our land after all. Let's strap these guys down. And head over to the cafe. Good load. 2,000 litres of cheese and 4,000 litres of butter. So let's see how much we generate. And I think the place we're looking to sell is just up here. A lot easier to get in here with just the tray on rather than the trailer where we used to sell our milk. Oh, there we go. Plenty happening financially. That made us just under 20,000, 19,300. So another, given that's our first time selling, another quarter of that, and we've certainly paid for our little dairy, so that's an excellent start. But let's get back to seeing how our baling's going. We might leave the truck over here for the moment. So it's looking like the angles that our worker was running are causing more problems than not, so we might just take over and finish windrowing it up. Got reasonably close. But those telegraph poles on the edge of the field were creating a little bit more stress than really needed. We'll just do a couple more back and forth and then run around the edge, I think. This afternoon's plan, I think, will be to get the oats off the sawmill field. Although calling it the sawmill field might be a bit overstated, given apart from the office building there's not much of a sawmill left, so I'll do that bit. On the other side. Given Jake hasn't decided yet whether he'll windrow up the straw any further, I might just leave the windrower out for the moment. While we're here, it's just, this bale is pretty quick. Let's run around and bale up this field, and then that job is complete. We'll be on the maximum size bales, so off we go. We're about halfway through the field. I mean, we're going to get quite a few bales off here. We usually get about 2 trailer loads, so it's always a little bit interesting. But at this rate, we should be done by 2:30, which leaves us plenty of time to get the oats off that field over there, which is good. Let's see, can we get round onto that windrow? We can. And just go back and do our alternate rows. But we won't get another one after this because we just haven't got enough hay on the field. That's okay. Moving to straw next anyway, so there's minimal value in chasing it. But we will pick it up. Just grab the obvious bits that are just, oops, missed that one. Just tidy up this end of the field. And that looks like the job done. We can turn you off. Unload the bales. Fold it up. And we won't do the straw baling today, so I might just leave you parked up over the side here. Sneak past. Boo Boo's not in sight, so I'm pretty confident we can get over there and grab our harvester. We can leave the truck sitting there. We've still got that mess that we made the other day to clean up, but there's our oats all ready to go. And away we go. It is strange to look across at the new sawmill and not see the tower for the chipper and the sawdust there, but that's how it goes, I guess. Jake did have an interesting phone call that he still doesn't understand at all from Boof the other day. So you might remember that Boof was the guy that did a little bit of work here with the fencing, and he's sort of got lots of network and contacts. He helped us with our little firewood processing business, get that set up, and he was the one that introduced Jake to the investors who leased that little plot right in front of us where the BGA is built, and they in fact built the BGA that and subsequently talked Jake into buying them out of it. So you can imagine Jake was more than a little surprised when he got this very strange phone call from Boof the other day just after the fire, wondering if Jake would consider selling the BGA. Of course, Jake's off the cuff responses. I've only just got it. I've got a big, fairly sizable, larger than last year's sugar beet crop in the ground, and I need somewhere to sell my sugar beet. So, you know, not really. I haven't even made any money on it. You know, what chance would I have of selling it and getting my money back? So basically, kind of his first impression to Boof was, no, it doesn't can't see how that would make any sense. Anyway, Boof was persistent, but he wouldn't give anything away. So Jake said, well, you know, for the right price or consideration, you know, to deal with some of the challenges that I got on my farm, maybe. So never say never, but just can't see how anything would come up that would make it a sensible thing to do. So all Boof would say was, well, you know, just leave it with me, just wanted to make sure you were open to it. So Jake said, well, you know, if it's a good deal, I guess I am open to it, but I just can't imagine what that deal would be. So hasn't heard anything since. That was kind of a week or so ago, and to be honest, Jake's been busy dealing with, you know, his own harvest. This is a busy time of the year, and there's plenty going on with the, you know, the fire and all. So we might just have to wait and see on that one. Got no idea what that's about. What Jake has been thinking about, he's pretty pleased with how the little dairy that they developed has gone, and of course today we're being able to sell the first of the cheese and the milk. The idea that he's tossing around is, well, if we what would it take, particularly this time of the year? It's a beautiful day today, albeit with rain on the way. What if we could make some ice cream? Because the folks that come to the riding school, he reckons they'd be a good source of sales, and the cafe in town seems to do a pretty booming business. So wondering if he just made, you know, with some of the milk didn't go into the dairy, but maybe a boutique ice cream place. How would that go? So hasn't gone any further, but there's certainly, if you think about that block of land up there where the dairy is, between the dairy and Eddie's, we own that little bit of land, and there's certainly some room in there to pop another building. Then it kind of makes sense. Now the question then is, you know, have we got enough cows to be producing enough milk? So it kind of hasn't gone any further than that. Yeah. Wouldn't want to do it at the expense of the arable operation. That was more just a side business. And if he's honest with anyone, Jay could be the first to admit he's fairly partial to a bit of good strawberry ice cream, that's for sure. Paige is more of a chocolate ice cream girl herself, but just have to wait and see. Is it nothing hard and fast at the minute? Coming up to fill the first tank, and yield is looking pretty good. So will we get to the end of the row? There we go. And we'll just pause there for a minute. Let's grab the truck. Then this thing's gonna flush out our forestry napper that he's nicknamed Boo Boo. This will do it, moving the truck. But we're pretty well advanced on the field now. We'll probably get 3 tanks off here, or 2.5. So this won't take long to finish. It's going to be close. Well, we're coming up on 2 tanks, so we won't get it. We'll run into the 3rd tank, but what Jake's been watching very closely is the weather. Doesn't feel like that rain is far away. Hopefully it won't be as troublesome a storm as the other day, but if we can get this tank unloaded quickly, we've really only got another couple of sets up and down to go, and we'll have all the oats in. It's almost 5 o'clock. Jake was pretty sure the news this morning said the rain was due before it got dark, so probably a little bit lucky given we stuffed around a bit during the morning that we haven't had it interrupt us before now, but we're going to go very close to getting this job done, I think. That's the trailer full. Let's see if we can get the rest of this crop in the harvester. last little stripe here as the rain starts to fall. The first drops. So, any luck? Well, we're going to take it. It literally has just started to rain, so... And we've finished the crop. So, our timing really couldn't have been better. So we've got 11,000 litres near enough in 963 in here. So we might take those over and drop them straight in the silo. And we know we've got another 18,000 in the trailer. I think we'll get through the gate here. Can't remember, it might be a little bit wide. Let's be gentle. Right on the edge of the trigger. So while that's going, we'll go get the truck. With just a tick under 30,000 litres of oats, that might be where we leave it for today, I think. Just coming up on 6 o'clock. I don't think it'll be a long shower. Not a lot of cloud, it's just one of those funny little summer showers that blow through. And we've got plenty of straw to deal with, which means we're in a position to make quite a lot of CMR if we so desire. We'll have to see where that leaves us. But for now, it looks like the harvest is empty. It will drop. Oh, it was 20,000 litres we had in here, so that'll give us I mean, we've got over 30,000 and we've still got the silo over near the horse feed, which has got a few oats in it as well. So our cropping so far, about halfway through our, well, not quite halfway through our harvests. Corn, sugar beet and soybeans still to go. Let's see how we end up. Yeah, so well over 30,000 litres of oats and a nice little payday. Looks like the cereal factory will ultimately be the place to sell them. So for now, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, have fun. See ya.